Hello Cobra Kai fans, welcome back today. I want us to dive into something that's been circulating in the fandom lately, the redemption arc of Kim Da-yoon in Cobra Kai Season 6. While this series is known for its masterful villain redemptions, there's something about this one that just isn't sitting right with most fans. With the big conflicts in place, we're gearing up for the show's conclusion, and naturally that means we're seeing the final villain arcs unfold. But with Kim Da-yoon, the story is leaving many fans unsatisfied. Cobra Kai has always done a great job of redeeming its villains. Johnny Lawrence, Chosen Taguchi, and Mike Barnes are all classic examples of characters who started out as antagonists but ended up on the good side, earning our respect and admiration along the way. However, the adult villains have always been more complicated. Terry Silver, for instance, is pretty much irredeemable, and while John Kreese seemed like he might turn things around in Season 5, that storyline didn't pan out. Now, the series seems to be setting up one last major redemption, Kim Da-yoon, and while I'm not completely against this choice, I'm also worried by how it's being handled. Let's start with how Season 6, Part 1 planted the seeds for Kim Da-yoon's redemption. Initially, we first met her as the ruthless granddaughter of Master Kim Sun-young, who teamed up with Terry Silver to push the brutal philosophy of Cobra Kai. She was cold, unforgiving, and seemed to revel in the violence she inflicted on her students. Remember how she pushed Tory to the brink, forcing her to punch through boards until her knuckles were bloody? Yeah, that's the Kim we've known, completely committed to the merciless ways of Cobra Kai. However, when Terry Silver was arrested at the end of the Season 5, Kim Da-yoon had no choice but to return to her grandfather in South Korea. I think this event could have been an opportunity to explore her character's growth, perhaps showing how her experiences after Silver's downfall made her reconsider her values. Unfortunately, the show skipped over this potential development. Instead, in Season 6, Part 1, we suddenly saw flashbacks to her childhood, revealing that she was just a young girl when Kreese trained under her grandfather. This is where I began to suspect the show was setting her up for a redemption arc. And then we saw her, as an adult, giving Kreese a hesitant, almost concerned looks as he began treating her students with the same cruelty she once endorsed. It's clear that Cobra Kai has been trying to show us that Da-yoon is having second thoughts, but the problem is, it all feels too sudden and unearned. This brings us to the main gripe. Sensei Kim's moral dilemma seems to come out of nowhere. In Season 5, she was almost a cartoonish villain, devoid of any real depth beyond her sternness and cruelty. She had no problem with the harsh treatment of students and, if anything, seemed to take pleasure in it. Fast forward to Season 6 and suddenly she's showing signs of doubt? It's jarring. The flashbacks of her childhood are supposed to add depth to her character, but they don't provide a clear motive for her change of heart. Instead, it feels like the show is trying to make a one-dimensional villain more sympathetic without giving us a reason to buy into it. What frustrates fans most is that Cobra Kai usually does much better with its villain redemptions. Johnny Lawrence's transformation from a washed-up bully to a beloved mentor was handled with care and depth. We saw him struggle, make mistakes, and ultimately grow into a better person. Chosen went from creating chaos and trying to kill Daniel in Okinawa to becoming his best buddy. The same goes for Mike Barnes. Their redemptions felt earned because the show took the time to explore their characters and motivations. But with Kim Da-yoon, it feels like we're skipping the heart and soul that made those other arcs so compelling. It's not that all fans are against the idea of redeeming Kim Da-yoon. Most of them actually think it could be a great story. The issue is that Cobra Kai hasn't given us enough time to see her evolve into a more sympathetic character. The shift in her character is happening so quickly that it feels like the writers are rushing to tie up loose ends before the series finale. Now, with Tory Nichols back in the dojo for the Sekai Taikai, it looks like she might play a significant role in Kim Da-yoon's story. Since Da-yoon wronged Tory so badly in Season 5, their relationship could be key to her redemption. And while fans are hopeful that the remaining episodes will flesh out this storyline, they can't help but feel a little let down by how things have been set up so far. What do you all think? Is Kim Da-yoon's redemption arc working for you, or are you surprised about how it's being developed? Let's discuss in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, Cobra Kai never dies.